So can you imagine walking into your community and you walk up to a bar where there's a shaman, and a shaman will say, how do you want to feel today? You don't have to drink alcohol. We can make you feel any way you want. Do you want to feel invigorated? Do you want to feel tranquil? Do you need some sleep? What is it that you want? We'll make you feel that way. Kind of like we're doing in the Energy Lighthouse, right? Wouldn't it be great to have this natural island tropical feel all year round? Why should it only be when you're on vacation to feel this way? How about a 365-day a year all-inclusive, where all you do is what you love to do? Is that possible? Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Did you know that there's a genus of bamboo from Japan that continues to grow during the winter months? Free building material forever? Do you know those totalitarianisms, communism, dictatorships, capitalism, whatever they do, that they try really hard not to let people grow bamboo? It's going to kill their industry. You can't be free. Right. They did that with some of the small islands too. There are two schools of thought: Mother Nature and concrete jungles. Many of you have probably seen about Tartaria and all these beautiful cities that have all disappeared. They're always going to disappear because Mother Nature will take them down. It's called Fall of Babylon, and we're upon it right now. So the concrete jungle, the materialistic thoughts that we have in our mind, they have to go away. That's why they're never around, and Mother Nature always prevails. So we might as well just go with the flow, and that's what Generation Isis Genesis means, where we rebuild. So Mother Nature supplies self-replenishing building materials. Both hemp and bamboo are very fast, self-replenishing plants. You got hempcrete, and the bamboo is your lumber. And then bamboo has qualities better than the lumber we use today. And it's a grass, and it grows really, really, really fast and evasive. So you have all your building materials free, right? So let's look at some slides on what bamboo vibration gives for people. So can you imagine a community area, dining area that looks like that? Doesn't that make you feel like comfortable at home? I know you're thinking this is not for all climates, right? Well, you'll be pleasantly surprised. All right. We'll show you later in the slides. A sample of a community space built out of bamboo. Here's a new Energy Lighthouse where they do energy shares. Just looking at it makes you feel good, doesn't it? Some fun construction project for those who like to do something amazing and go over maybe a little water or stream. Can you imagine doing this through a bamboo forest that surrounds the community? Wouldn't that be awesome? Some sample gathering locations built out of bamboo. Okay, so let's get a little bit about the land layout. What would a land layout look like, and how would you be able to start? How could you start a community? What's it going to look like? It all starts with the harmony of 12 houses. Look at music. Everything is a function of 12. Everything, like a beehive. If you do this way, you're in tune with Mother Nature. So a circle of 12 houses in the middle is where you would start. Their function is to set the foundation, to set the plan into action, because there is a plan. And the plan is simple. And that has a core function to get everything ready and for expansion into the next ones. All right. So what does that look like? Of course, it's permaculture. Permaculture means permanent agriculture, not strip farming. Strip farming is absolutely not made for people and communities and eating. Talk a bit about that in a second. So this is an overview of an expanded self-sustaining permaculture neighborhood. It sits on 100 acres, all right? There's 84 homes, which houses about 250 people. So 100 acres, that gives you 0.4 acres per person versus the 0.17 acres that people say you need for self-sustaining. So you got way more space than you currently have now, way more space than you currently have now. We'll show you that. So one cell is 7 communities of 12 houses in a beautiful relationship together where they're spread apart. So that sounds like a lot of land, but hold on to that thought. Because it's not a lot of land. So we get the question, why not just one cell of 12 homes? We can just, forget about the world. Well, plain and simple, you get overabundance for sharing, expansion, inclement weather, right? It affects your food, astrological growing periods, better wind protection, more area for leisure, and more choice for crop selection. Okay, so breathe, because some people still have this, well, no, we're going to be crowded. Communities, communism, communes, they're not good, because I don't want to live next door to people. I had people tell me that. I don't live next door to somebody. What? You're already living next door to somebody. I don't want to live that close to anybody. So there's this, we are so programmed that we can't do it, that we'll look for any reason why we can't do it, but we can. So 100 acres, 250 people. They get 5,600 people and 80 acres of a Royal Caribbean ship. 80 acres, 5,600 people. And we're telling you we're going to put 250 on 100 acres. A study of how many homes currently in Windsor compared to, we just did Windsor, it's going to be typical, to our self-sustaining communities. We can see that 12 homes will be on more acreage. The people in Windsor would go from 0.16 to 0.4 acres per individual. More than double the acreage per person that they currently have. This is just another reality check that we waste space for non-necessities in a concrete jungle. We waste land to self-sustain the system to try to make it work. Just eliminate it. We don't need it. We really don't. And there's so much truth to that. So a quick look at the density of houses. On the left is our neighborhood where we currently live, and we have larger lots, right? And the one on the right is closer to downtown Windsor. So over here, we get 9 houses that fit instead of 12. So this is wasted land. We got so much land there that's not being used properly in our it's beautiful. We got all this grass. What do we do with the grass? It's a cocaine addiction. We got to buy seeds. We got to buy a lawnmower. We got to buy gas. We got to cut the grass. We got to buy fertilizer. We got to buy all this stuff. We're not like that anymore. We're gone natural as far as not spraying or anything. And the weeds we love. It's just, we call it the lawn, not the grass. So it's wasted there. But over here, where you've got downtown Windsor, they fit 27 in that circle houses. And we're going to only put 12. You're going to have 40 feet between your wall and the next wall. 40 feet. Where they're 10 feet apart, where you can open up 2 windows and shake hands, right? You can shake hands with your neighbor going through your kitchen windows. So this is very spread apart. So this sounds, well, wait a minute, how's this going to work, right? Watch, it's going to work. Watch, this is really simple. So 100 acres. Never mind what we're going to grow within the circles. We're not even going to touch that for this whole presentation, but within those circles, you're going to have food outside your door, trees, whatever, beautifully landscaped areas that are functional and that are beautiful, and they self-sustain with minimal maintenance. So around the outside of this circle, there is 24 2-acre sections, 24 of them in one circle of 7. There's 24 of them where you can plant whatever you need. For example, there we just put, in this section, we're going to put some medicinal things. 2 acres of that. And there's 24 in one circle. And on the outside edges, you got 4 sections of 6 acres each, right? And then the green will be 40-foot deep bamboo fence, which is always going to protect your sun for shade for the certain crops on certain sides, because now you get to plant your plants around that circle based on the needs of that plant, whether it wants shade, whether it wants full sun, and you can do it based on the year because you're using astrology to do it. So you got your wind block, you got everything, all your construction materials. So 100 acres sound like a lot to you? See that little dot right here? Look at this little dot. See that little dot? That's 100 acres in Essex County. That's 100 acres. That little piece right there is 100 acres. That will fit that plan that I just told you about and house 250 people that can self-sustain in that one cell of 100 acres. They can self-sustain, don't need anybody for anything. All right? So let's put that in Essex County. There's 4,500 of those 100-acre cells in Essex County alone. We could fit 4,500 of those self-sustaining blocks all by itself. 100% works. If you put all the homes in there, we have 378,000 houses. That means you could fit in that model that are spread out apart like that, that are self-sustaining, and everybody could have their own house. So it fits, it works. The 250 is based on 3 per house, but there's enough room for 1 per house. That's how many houses. So now you'd have 4,500, well, that's the next slide. I'm jumping ahead of myself. So now you're gonna have 4,500 of these 100-acre parcels that each have 24 sections of 2-acre properties. So that's 108,000 of these. There's 108,000 of these 2-acre sections. Where's all that food going? I know. Do you know where the food's going? See, when I worked for Chrysler, when they build those vehicles, 1,500 a day, as soon as they leave the property, they book the profit, whether they're sold or not. So when they're sitting out in the dealerships, that's why they don't want to get away from dealerships, because they are able to cook the books and book the profit right away and artificially inflate the stock market prices. That's what Nabisco, all those big name companies are doing. It's sitting on the shelf in grocery stores, and they're building grocery stores like crazy because they book the product as sold, and they artificially inflate the stock prices. They're sitting on the shelves, they're sitting on the shelves, they're sitting on the shelves. They've booked the profit. They've gone so far as have to create Monsanto so that they don't spoil on the shelves, and they put the fertilizers, pesticides, and all that preservative in the food so it stays on the shelves. So our system is one of greed. They're in everybody's neighborhood. These people just don't know how to stop. They just don't know how to stop it. But we can stop them. We just build our own community. And it's totally lawful. And nobody can stop you. There is not a law that can stop you. It can't. We just have the programming that we think we can. So think about that. 108,000 of these sections fit in there. That's 108,000 different species of plants you can grow on 2 acres. What can you run out of? Nothing. You want to talk about backups over backups over backups, and I haven't even touched the lumber that goes around times that many times, 4,500 times. I didn't touch on the 4 pieces that go around that many times. So where are we going? Where are we going? Hey, buddy, if you go to work, you can buy a car so you can get to work. Stay home. If you go to work, you can build roads so we can ship you your food from somewhere else. Stay home. The community is going to only need like 5-6 cars because nobody's going to want to go anywhere. You're going to drive around on a golf cart going from community to community. There's going to be 4,500 of them in Essex County. Can you imagine? And each one of them is going to have a restaurant that's for free, and it's an all-inclusive, and you can go any one of those and go and meet people that are happy. I've been throwing arrows at this for 5 years and been asking people, do the what about? And it's only in your mind where you can make it not work. So it's a catch-22. Well, thank the stars, it's time for change. So know that it's happening anyway. You might as well go with the flow, because we're moving from revelation into Generation Genesis, where Mother Nature takes domain with or without man. So if your mind is in the images and the flow, it goes. So why not imagine it anyway? It's a beautiful thing. Am I telling you to do anything that's not good? No, but the ego will tell you, oh, no, right? Okay, extreme conditions. I bet you some of you guys, yeah, what about in the wintertime? So in India, there you are, Akash, I'm not sure if you were ever there. At nearly 11,000 foot elevation, this house has been standing tall for close to 10 years. The lightweight, climate-resistant bamboo structure withstands the heavy rains and about 15 to 20 feet of snow without a problem. Also, the building is earthquake-resistant because it's flexible. It's flexible. These concrete buildings, if we have an earthquake, they're coming down. They're coming down. We don't know how to build. We don't know how to build. So there are studies that prove that bamboo gets stronger and gets a higher thermal conductivity with freeze thaw. The more it goes through a freeze thaw, the better it gets. I have bamboo around a pool shed. It's been sitting there for 15 years and I never treated it or anything. It looks gray and stuff because I never treated it. But it's still there, it hasn't rotted. It hasn't rotted in 15 years. So don't let the ego tell you it can't be done. So we talked already about permaculture. Permaculture means permanent agriculture, not strip farming. When you don't let the plants decay in place, you don't allow them to self-fertilize because they let the leaves and everything come up and come down and it self-fertilizes, so it wants to take domain of that area. So strip farming doesn't allow for that. And there's so many people that are so awesome at permaculture, so if you build it, they will come. We never did build this. I tried to, but every time I tried to get bamboo, it was not time yet. All right, so I made a design for a 2-story houseboat made completely out of bamboo, all right, except for the windows of plexiglass and a few things like that, and some barrels to float on. But we could have made this at current prices, not for free. At current prices, we could have made this 2-story houseboat for under $30,000. The pontoons itself for this would have been $45,000 with nothing, just the pontoons that would float on, all right? So is there a plan? We can see it fits, right? Is there a plan? Absolutely. We've got a plan roughed out. We got visions, goals, objectives. We've got a constitution, which is based on community and the people running the land. It's nothing you've ever seen before, but it all makes sense. You can go to iudemy.com/ITBSS and you can go look at that constitution or anything in here and provide feedback, throw darts at it. Please help me visualize how it's going to work. Help us, I should say, but it's already there. And yes, there's a complete, simple plan. There's a complete, simple plan. And it focuses on these teams. There's a Mother Nature team, health and safety team, planning and design team, an acquisition team, a communication team, construction and maintenance team, an assessment team, a continuous improvement team, a distribution team, a healthy eating team, and an education team. But you notice that the stem, the middle is Mother Nature, love. That's the inner core. They have final say in everything, kind of like IRCA does right now, right? Right. But the only time I think I've ever not liked IRCA is when I had a business idea, right? So I'm glad they stopped me. I'm calling it innovation, but it's pretty simple. Anybody could have thought of this. Here's a thought. Why don't we inspire and educate people based on what they love to do? Using the law of attraction phrase, it ain't work if you love it. That's going to be part of the startup phase when we use this simple method of attracting people who love what they do. So here's an example. So we've had this form out. This form is online too. If you want to go fill it out to try it out and sign up, you don't have to do anything, but you can still sign up. And it's just a little test. Just we pick during the different phases of the starting the community, the people that love to do it. So I love to learn, love, like, or not interested in. So you fill out this form and you get called upon when it's your time to come in and help build the community. But then it's when we sustain it. If you do the math, we only have to work for about 10 years and maybe 20 hours a week when it's in its fruition. And then you just love life. We keep going to work because somebody keeps taking a cut. At a poker game, when the house keeps taking the money, the house gets rich and everybody gets poor, right? So I just threw these little ones in there, right? I love electronics. I love to build. I love to deliver. I like that one. He's going to deliver to Nonna down the street, bring her some fresh berries, right? I love to cook. I love to garden. But that's what it's based on. From when the time you're born, you're going to school, what do you like to do? What do you love to do? I like to play guitar all day. We need you, because people are going to want to hear guitar. I love to sing. I love to use my brains. I love to do this. Everything has a function, and not one is more important than the other. We gone to school, and you got to be a doctor, dentist, lawyer, nurse, or else you go to work and pay your taxes. And then we get a job that we don't like to do. So can you imagine a world where you live amongst your necessities, at one with Mother Nature? Walk out your door, go for a short walk, and be in the Garden of Eden. Trails all around. There's 4,500 of these places at 100 acres apiece. There's going to be trails. There's going to be all sorts of things that you want. And when you go on those trailers, they're going to be lined with berries, fruit trees, benches. You take your breakfast while you're walking. That's what it's about. Designed to live, not designed to go to work and pay taxes. So can you imagine that world where you only have to contribute less than 20 hours per week of what you love to do? You're going to be bored. You're going to be looking for things to do. But there's always going to be something going on, which is going to be beautiful. So the world is waiting for you to close your eyes at night and imagine these images to shape yours and our world. You get to have it. You are gods and goddesses. You get to imagine what you want. And we get to group actualize this and watch it happen. And just go, because Mother Nature will support you. I'm already watching it happen. Things just, something wants to come this way and it's not good, and then all of a sudden it just goes away. Because when you're full of love and intention and you keep that pureness, you are Moses with the staff parting your own waters. That's the strength you have. You are the chosen one of your own world. You are. Before we wrap it up, I just wanted to, Barbello Sees left this on our reminder meeting. She said, communism is a political theory derived from Karl Marx, advocating class war and leading to a society in which all property is publicly owned and the person works and paid according to their abilities and needs. But communism, with an E at the end, with the spelling altered to place emphasis on commune, is a group of people living together and sharing possessions and responsibilities. So all kinds of people around the world are feeling this consciousness raise, and everybody's going back together. They're forming community. They're being loving, and it's happening anyway. So we might as well manifest it in our world quickly, because it will happen. So I just got a quick little song here, and then we'll break into any discussion.
Have you been around? Have you done your share of coming down on different things that people do? Have you been aware you got brothers and sisters who care about what's gonna happen to you in a year from now? Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they'll be giving away when we all live together. I'm talking about together now. Maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they'll be giving away when we all live together. I'm talking about together now. Did you pay your dues? Did you read the news this morning when the paper landed in your yard? Without losing track and coming down a bit too hard. Oh, maybe I'll be there to shake your hand. Maybe I'll be there to share the land that they'll be giving away when we all live together. We're talking about together now.